Good morning, everyone. My name is Natalie Andino, your host for today. Welcome to the Animated Hustle podcast, where we discuss the latest news in the art community and entertainment industry, as well as explore the endless creative possibilities of the media of art. From art tips to exclusive behind-the-scenes interviews with the directors and animators responsible for making your favorite animated feature films. Today, we will discuss the recent news of artificial intelligence and its growing influence in the animation industry. Are machines really going to take over the world of art, or will they be our intellectual companions? Let's find out. Welcome back, my fellow animators. I am planning on studying for a BFA Digital Arts degree with a concentration in animation at FIU. The problem I'm investigating about AI and art is a complex and controversial one in my field, because many animators reject the integration of AI in the creative workplace, while others are adapting with the technology rather than nitpicking at its simple flaws. Personally, I believe that technology will not only open new technologically demanding jobs, but also become an integral creative assistant rather than an apocalyptic intellectual rival who will inevitably replace all human artists. Specifically, to find out how AI is currently affecting job prospects and expectations for future artists entering the animation industry for the first time, who honestly have no idea how to even work AI animation. I have focused primarily on reading and detailing articles and interviews detailing the anecdotal accounts from experienced artists working in this field for more than 20 years. Now, from what I've researched, AI is incapable of replicating the same emotional expression a human experiences to create an original idea without the instructions of its user. Therefore, animators should not have to fear the possibility of being replaced. Rather, they have to be able to embrace the technological improvements and pave new ways for AI to complement their artistic process. The history of animation has proven to be a goldmine for several technological innovations and improvements that helped expand new areas for creative potential. Let's take a look at two great examples of innovative technical programs that have already evolved beyond the medium of classic traditional animated films from the 1990s all the way to today. Following the release of Pixar's Toy Story in 1995, when computer-generated imaging, also known as CGI, was starting to commercially and financially rival the box office hit of Disney's 1994 animated musical masterpiece, The Lion King, Disney was struggling to pump out 2D animated films to already compete with Pixar's impressive and innovative CGI output at the time. Now, as a result, Disney feature animation wanted to go beyond traditional cell animation that they were already used to producing, to add more 3D qualities to the 2D painted backgrounds in its 1999 animated film, Tarzan. Their newly developed rendering technique, called Deep Canvas, developed by Tasso Lapas and George Katanix, background artists painted on 2D plots of 3D scenes, using an adaptation of an in-house painting tool designed for traditional painters. As they painted, information about each brushstroke, its color, its shape, the pressure used to create it, and so forth, is stored as data so that the Deep Canvas software can apply the brushstrokes to an appropriate position in 3D space. As Daniels puts it, it's as if the brushstrokes fly back in space and land on whatever surface the painter intended. In other words, the layout artists would be held the task to create a 3D modeling sphere. Then, the background painters would come in and paint leaves on a large surface area. Then the area would be hidden out and masked, but it preserves the original brushstrokes in midair, which can be animated frame by frame. Therefore, from the audience's perspective, it gives the illusion that the camera actually goes inside of a painting without actually fully using 3D animation for the background. For example, this technique can be seen in the ending shot of the Son of Man sequence, where a now adult Tarzan swings from vine to vine and surfs through the inside of a tree canopy like a wave. In this scene, the layout artists sculpted modified 3D branches. The background artists painted the bark texture on a 2D plot on a separate layer to make the foreground and the branches. Then the animators would animate a 2D hand-drawn Tarzan surfing through the canopy on top of the 3D branches as the camera follows him. Another favorite movie of mine that cleverly mixes technology and art would be Cartoon Saloon's 2020 animated film Wolfwalkers, which cleverly mixes VR technology and hand-drawn animation. Cartoon Saloon, in context, is an Irish animation studio located in Kilkenny, Ireland, who has recently been praised for its unique Celtic animation techniques in their previous films like The Secret of the Kells, Song of the Sea, and The Breadwinner. Wolfwalkers tells the story of a young English girl named Robin, who discovers and becomes a wolfwalker, a person who is a human by day and can transform into a wolf when asleep. Similarly to Tarzan, the Cartoon Saloon crew also created a 3D forest. However, here's the catch. It would never appear on screen in the final product at all. Crazy, right? So, how did they do this? Well, during the pre-production, a team of 9 animators would ultimately recreate every digital frame of the wolf vision scenes of the film on thousands of sheets of paper. The animation team experimented with a new virtual reality sculpting program called Medium, using the headset Oculus Rift, to draw and construct a 3-dimensional 360-degree viewable forest. Then, the virtual set would be transferred to a computer animation tool called Blender. This is where artists got the chance to paint and refine the more stylistic 2D elements of the forests with charcoal and graphite pencil to create the sketchy effect of a moving drawing. This unique approach to animation by using VR sculpting programs highlights the artist's skills in adapting newer technologies that enhance the realism and the fluidity of innovative 2.5D animation. Has modernized computer technology made animation more profitable? With the advancement of computer-generated images and the additional influence of AI tools, it has improved the sustainability of animated films. CGI animated films had more box office success than traditional animated films. Based on the findings of Zhentao Shun's study on the impact of CGI technology and the sustainability of animated films, I noticed that CGI has largely improved the quality and financial success of animated films in the past 2 decades. He began with 2 hypotheses. 1, did the powerful virtual capabilities of CGI digital technology give CGI animated films a box office advantage over their non-CGI animated film competitors? And 2, CGI digital technology enhances the box office profitability of animated films, improving the competitiveness of animated films comparatively with live-action films and expands the sustainable development of animated films. To conduct his research, the data Sun collected were obtained from the Box Office Mojo database. Founded in 1998 by Brandon Gray and later bought by Amazon in 2008, the Box Office Mojo is an American website that tracks domestic and international box office receipts in a systematic algorithm across 60 countries and territories. In addition, it categorizes the box office performances of featured films and counts the total revenue of films, providing financial tracking and reception statistics to understand how well a film is performing. The study mainly focuses on analyzing the impact of CGI technology and the sustainability of animated films by using box office performances of both CGI and traditionally animated films to verify the usefulness of this technology for the sustainability of the production of these films. Sun found a total of 720 animated films in the box office database of Box Office Mojo all the way back to 1937 to the latest search results of May 1st, 2023. Out of the 720 animated films, it concluded there were 194 CGI animated films and 525 non-CGI animated films. The criteria for the categories was determined by whether or not CGI was used in the production at all. Non-CGI animated films included films who didn't use this technology, but used a variety of traditional hand-drawn animation, puppet animation, physical animation, and/or sand animation. Box Office Mojo data showed that 720 animated films were produced between this time period, of which 27% were CGI animated films, while the other 73% were not made with CGI. The total box office for animated films was a total of $32 billion, of which CGI animated films grossed to $24 billion, and non-CGI animated films grossed up to $8 billion, or 25.7%. The average box office per film for animated films at the time was $45 million, of which $126 million was for CGI animated films, and $16 million was for non-CGI animated films. From these four charts, I concluded that the intervention of CGI digital technology has enabled CGI animated films to achieve unprecedented box office competitiveness relative to their non-CGI animated competitors, with a significant increase in profitability and a profound positive impact on the sustainable development of animated films. The main reason for this is that the virtual of CGI digital technology added visual realism to animated films, making them more appealing to all audiences, breaking through the shortcomings and barriers that have long existed in traditional animation at the audience level. A limitation of the study, however, is that since the US is the strongest and most representative in the field of CGI animated films, this paper only focuses on the transformation process of CGI animated films only in the US in this case study, without paying much attention to CGI animation in other countries like Japan, Europe, and other places in South America. And finally, I'm going to explain the final point. There are advantages and limitations to using this AI animation technology. With preset algorithms, paid or free animation programs with AI tools have the ability to study, learn, and generate predetermined behaviors and texture simulators based on the user's logical input. Emphasis on logical. The way how AI programs learn to compute different statistical probabilities is through the process of digesting large amounts of pre-existing data and organizing a unique mathematical combination of ones and zeros with every new trial. Essentially, think of the AI as a logical mathematical machine that can produce solutions in less than a second. If we consider jobs that require logic and at least basic rudimentary mathematics, AI would be posing more of a threat for those people working with math. But what about the animation industry? Inside the animation industry, there is already a wide variety of domains, such as lighting, special effects, rigging, modeling, texturing, shading, and rendering. Like I said before, AI is based on calculations from old, rehashed data in systems. So anything that is creative, which is already beyond the capabilities of imagination, is impossible, as of yet, for a machine to predict and understand. An AI cannot be simply given a prompt and immediately think of something imaginative because it cannot sense imagination or feel raw human emotions. In the animation industry, this is extremely important. It would be extremely hard for machines to completely take over the concept artist, storyboard artist, art directing, rendering, lighting, and so forth positions because all their work is trying to complete a subjective artwork that is not rooted in perfect logical movements or mathematics. However, what AI can do is relieve the animators and modeling staff of repetitive tasks that can be accomplished using technical language and commands the AI can rationalize and replicate to perfection. By automating repetitive tasks, it empowers animators, storyboard artists, and editors to enhance the visualization and develop new, captivating stories. For example, a technology that greatly revolutionized and updated the look of hand-drawn 2D animation is with Netflix's first animated film, Klaus, in 2020. The film, directed by Sergio Pablos, already a veteran Disney animator who has worked for Disney for over 25 years, he wanted to reinvent the origin story of Santa Claus with the help of his animation team at the Spa Studios in Madrid. To accomplish their technical goal, Pablos, with the help of a French studio named Le Film de Poisson Rouge, decided to develop a new digital AI software program called CLASS, short for Clouds, Light, and Shadow, that allowed artists to add light and texture to 2D characters using key lights and ambient lights. The AI software also tracks the movement of the characters, so the light and shadows will move along with them. Of course, with a few educated guesses, since the program doesn't make 100% estimations most of the time. So the artists have to fine-tune the errors by hand. Additionally, to add texture to the character's skin and clothing, they use the factors of contour, lighting, and motion to add various effects to specific areas of a character. For example, the artists can make the character's winter clothing to have an oil painting or watercolor texture or acrylic feel, making the characters feel more 3D and a part of their environment, rather than looking like flat stickers on a detailed painting. To conclude, every time a new technology is introduced into society, there is always the concern that it will eventually replace human labor. However, technology has improved with time and again to provide its users with increased capabilities, productivity, and better working conditions. There are already examples of illustrators, script writers using artificial intelligence to improve their work. One of the creative constraints proposed by AI researchers is that art is made with human emotions. The creative industries generate more than $2 trillion per year, and 92% of large companies have already seen returns on their data and AI investments. AI and related technologies have caused unprecedented disruptions and exciting developments in value chains and operations across all fields over the past 10 years. There are opposing views on the role of this emerging technology in the cultural and creative sectors. While some see AI as an opportunity to create more immersive and transformative cultural content, others see it as a threat that could replace their jobs, resulting in reduced hours and permanent unemployment. An AI's advantage is its ability to compute scenarios and calculate solutions with success probabilities. The diversity of the audience's sensibilities, however, is a shortcoming of this method in artistic creation. In the end, the human will not simply be replaced by a machine. Rather, the work will become more meaningful. With the advent of image technology, the art of painting has not vanished. Nonetheless, those involved in the animation industry gained the freedom to experiment with new ways of expressing their creativity. Whereas algorithm animation and art can be generated, there is room for imagination and original creations based on the human experiences. AI technologies will only continue to evolve and increase the ways they can be used in creative industries. Thus, it will be essential for the sector to learn how to operationalize AI and to prepare for the innovation bound for the creative economy. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Animated Hustle podcast. Thank you for listening, my fellow animators, and I will see you in the next episode. Tune in next time where we will explore how Coraline was made using stop-motion animation. As always, stay curious, keep drawing, and dream big dreams.